Welcome to this video about the best ergonomic office setup for your team. Is your team sat there all day on their computers, or maybe part of the day? You can cause your team issues, and if they've got issues and they've got bad posture and they've got aches and pains, then they're going to be less productive, but potentially also they're going to not be able to come into work, so they're going to cause you and the business lots of issues. So it's really worthwhile just to make sure that all of your team are using the best technology in the right way that's the most comfortable. So first of all, we look at posture. Make sure that people are able to sit at their desks comfortably. You can normally see someone a mile away whether they're hunched over. So that's the first one. Nice simple thing. Does it look like that they're actually sitting there comfortably? Now this is the next part that's really important. You need to make sure that you're providing them with a great environment where they can be really comfortable and able to work all day long. This slide is a fantastic one to actually have up on your office wall and as part of your induction process. The reason is that you want to make sure that everyone knows how they should be sitting. Now people can sit in bad positions with bad posture for an amount of time, but over a long period of time, months and years, it will come back to bite them. So it's always worthwhile making sure that people are set up in the right way. First of all, monitors. Are the monitors the right height, and is it comfortable for them to easily look straight forward at the monitors? If they're having to look too high or too low, this is going to put extra stress on your neck. So it's making sure that you're sitting upright and looking straight forward. Shoulders, again, trying to make sure that they are always straight and back. Now this really is a big part to do with the type of chair that they're using. Has the chair got arms on it? Do you need the arms if they're actually sitting at a desk? Then you've got the distance from the screen, and again this comes into actual eyesight as well. If they're too close or too far away, they may be straining their eyes, so you need to make sure that that's correct. Then the height of their wrists. Now there's different things like carpal syndrome within your wrists. You need to make sure that the wrists are straight and flat. If they're always flexing them up or down, this can also have negative impact. You can also get different types of mice. Sometimes you can actually get a mouse that's affixed and it's more of a rollable as opposed to moving the entire mouse around. Or you can just go with the touch pads. Really depends on the employee and potentially the age of the employee as well. So it's always worthwhile asking how comfortable they feel it. Then it's making sure that they're able to put their feet flat on the desk. There's not boxes underneath and there's not other various things. Desk height, there's a universal standard which is 710 to 730 millimeters high. And of course you need to make sure that the chair fits the desk. So you may need an adjustable chair as well. Then the next is around the optimal screen size and resolution. So generally in terms of resolution, depending on what computer or laptop you've got that's pumping into the monitor, bare minimum full HD, which is 1080, or you could go up to 4K resolution. It really depends on what the person's doing. The optimal minimal size display is 22 inch, but it depends on the task. Also if you've got widescreen and whether they're vertical or horizontal. We see a lot of clients, depending on what they're doing, if you're, for example, in the accounts department and you're looking at lots of spreadsheets that go down the page, often you can actually have the monitors, what you would say, on the opposite side, so that they're more vertical, so that they're much longer and it's easier for scrolling down, whereas you may have vertical if you're doing video content and editing, as an example. Also now with Windows 11 it works particularly well if you've got wider screens. You can then have multiple tabs on the screen, so you may have one screen, physical screen, but you may then have 2, 3 or 4 different screens. It just makes it for working easier, but also it's not just about working easier, it's about working more comfortably. Then the next thing is refresh rate. Now this is often what's overlooked. Bare minimum you need to have 60 Hertz refresh rate. 60 to 75 for standard. Now what we would recommend is if people are using their machines all day long, then you want really 100 to 120 hertz. Definitely if someone is either gaming or film editing or using CAD, then they definitely want that higher hertz. It's just going to be much more comfortable on their eyes. And that's the key. It's making sure that people are really comfortable, and that's not just a comfort in terms of put another pillow underneath. It's comfort in terms of your eyes and your posture, and just making sure that people are super comfortable. Because if they're uncomfortable, it will affect their productivity. And then it's all about making sure that you integrate this type of information with your team. First of all, you should have it on posters, whether it's around the centre sections of an office or even next to someone's desk, so that they know and that they're making sure that they're always sitting how they should. The other thing we would always recommend is integrating it into your induction or onboarding manual, so that then people know that you take it seriously, but also when they then have their new desk, which may be an old desk, same with the chair, if they're taking over from someone else and using someone else's chair, you don't want them to just sit on it and use it as the previous person did. You need to make sure that they are setting it up and making sure that it's extra comfortable. Exactly the same as if you get in a car, you always move the seat up and down and forwards and backwards to make sure that it's comfortable. You can reach the pedals and the steering wheel. Using a computer is exactly the same, even though it may not feel that way initially. But this is such a big, important thing when it comes to making sure that your users work at their optimum. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. We've got lots of other learnings within our learning centre, so please either click the link or visit our learning centre directly, syn-star.co.uk/learning centre.